Welcome to the new edition of the Stoneman Diaries. I'm Annie Bond, and I've been channeling from Stoneman for a few decades, and it will be interesting to see what he has to say for us today. Um, so I have recently moved after 33 years living in upstate New York in Rhinebeck, and I'm now in northern Massachusetts, right at the New Hampshire border. And it was not nothing, I'll tell you that. I massively underestimated what a sea change this is for me on so many levels. And so I want to ask Stoneman about what it is like for our energy body to move locations. Sea change is the right phrase because you've unwound yourself from being planted with the actual vibration of the stones and the rocks of where you lived before. And as you replant, you receive the energy of the rocks and stones under you now, the crystals, where you are now, and it'll be different. It'll feel different. And it'll take a while to acclimate. And so I was going to ask how to help myself acclimate. Feel. Feel what's under your feet. Feel the energy of what's under your feet. Make friends with that energy. Make friends with that energy. Weave yourself into the earth here. And become one with it. And your life will unfold in a beautiful way. Oh, that's really nice. I like that. The applied transmission for this channel is about to settle where you are. You want to weave yourself into the earth, become one with it where you live. The teaching transmission for this channel is that grounding is not conceptual, it is relational, with land, with sound, with self. Here's a question from Sarah. She wants to know if you have ideas for times of real crisis, like what to do in the middle of what is a crisis intervention that you would recommend when things are discombobulating in a person's life. It's a little bit like are being planted, but it's embodying being your connection to the heart of the earth, the heart of the sun is very, very important that you embody. And the earth and sun will take away a lot of the discombobulation. They'll bring you into much, much more harmony. Yes, there's a yin-yang balance here, of course, but it's the power of the earth grounding and the power of the sun's consciousness that will bring you into more coherence. The overview transmission is that you need to embody connecting to earth and sun, the power of the earth grounding and the power of the sun's consciousness that will bring you into more coherence. And so I guess this leads to the same question of what about times of really, really high stress? It would be the same thing, but you could add sound to this. High stress is more time bound, whereas crisis intervention can be sudden. So with stress, you want to hear the sound needed to bring more harmony. And given we're all so different, you'll need another different sound. And so close your eyes and ask to hear the sound you need to help you reduce your stress. You close your eyes. Ask to hear the sound. This will come inside of you, the sound you need to reduce your stress. And then you're going to want to resonate with it. And so for me, I've shown the piano tuner before, but I'm going to bring it out. Piano tuner is Panotuner, and I think it's available in Android. I know it's available on Apple. And you just sound into the app the sound. So let me do that again. I asked to hear the sound I need to reduce my stress. Ooh, 320 hertz. So I'll go on YouTube and put that on and play it when I am under stress, but that might be the stress for me today, but it may be a different tone tomorrow. But it's resonating with sound, I think is what you're saying. Resonating with sound is the key to unwind the stress and bring you in more harmony. Makes sense. Thank you. The resonance transmission for this channel is that you want to hear the sound needed to bring more harmony. Ask to hear it. Close your eyes and ask to hear the sound you need to reduce your stress. Resonating with sound is the key to unwinding stress. So here's a question from Grace. We all have various addictive behaviors that cause us to leak vital life force energy. And how does one release oneself from addictive spirals? Addiction is a different territory than what we've been talking about in terms of stress and crisis intervention. Addictive behaviors stem from a rewiring of your consciousness to assume negative outcomes. And yes, so it is fear-based. You need to unwind the consciousness of assuming a negative outcomes, and you unwind this by having a relationship with your higher self to change the thought patterns. Those thought patterns run deep, and you need to... It's interesting that Grace said spirals, because you're talking about an unwinding. You're unwinding the spiral, going the other way to positive thought forms. And it's all about your relationship with your higher self. Build a relationship. When you have negative thoughts, ask your higher self to clear them and bring you something else. Okay. And then I was sort of at a question that went with that. What makes some people stop an addiction on a dime and others have to taper or take months or years? I was thinking of smoking, for example. Like some people stop like that and some people take a lot longer. you can see where it's the power of the thought. If the mind has decided it's in their best interest to stop for whatever reason, they will stop. If it's not that clear, they'll dally with their decision. Again, it's all about getting the true knowing from your higher self to know what's best for you. The teaching transmission for this channel is to release oneself from addictive spirals by unwinding assumptions of negative outcomes. And you will need to build a relationship to your higher self for insights for positive outcomes. The overview transmission for this channel is to get the true knowings of your higher self, to get to know what is best for you. Okay. So this is a question from Meg, and it's very, very esoteric, and maybe it's just for healers, but it's curious. Hi, Annie and Stoneman. I recently have read about a differentiation between those whose purpose is to heal energy and those whose purpose is to transmute it. The purpose is to heal energy versus those whose purpose is to transmute it. She says, I find myself a bit resistant to this idea, feeling they are one and the same, but I'm wondering if you see these as different roles. We're laughing. Humans get themselves so muddled. Energy is energy is energy is energy is energy is energy. That's all. All you're doing is working with the flow of energy. Period. All right. The teaching transmission for this channel is that energy is energy is energy is energy is energy. All you are doing is working with the flow of energy, regardless of technique. And then she also would like, Meg also has a question, how do humans determine their purpose? The soul has a very profound role here. Getting to know your soul and its love of you is a very important key to understanding who you are. And you can start that by asking your soul to bathe you in self-love. I ask my soul to bathe me in self-love. I ask my soul to bathe me in self-love. And the more you bathe yourself in self-love, the more you will authenticate that which actually serves you. You'll find your path if you take the path of self-love, of unconditional love of your higher self. The love piece is so important for you to have, and if you love yourself, you will not go astray. You will say, no, I'm not taking that path, I'm taking this other path. So then I, just having talked to so many people and in my own experience, there are times in my life, certainly in other people's lives, where they are lost and they need some help, some guidance to find what their life purpose is. It's walking this walk of getting to know themselves on a soul level and a higher self level, and beginning to ask questions. So one of the things I've done a lot is I ask my divine etheric team, known and unknown, to clear our connections and be with me. That's my soul, my higher self, various guardians, animals that have worked with me over time. And the clearer helped me get clearer, and then I could It's hard to just sort of pose, well, what am I supposed to do with my life? It's not the question, it's the vibration where you want to be. You really want to find the vibration where you are in tune with who you really are. And you need to keep connecting to reach the vibration of where you are in true resonance with your heart, mind, self. And one thing you could do to turn back to earlier in this channel is to ask to hear the sound of your vibration. And once you hear the sound, hear it inside, and then get it on YouTube. I mean, go to the piano tuner and get it on, go to YouTube, listen to this vibration of who you really are, and things will start happening for you. And just be profoundly patient. Listen to the sound of who you really are. Listen to the sound of who you really are. Thank you. The overview transmission for this channel is to ask your soul to bathe you in self-love and ask your higher self to bathe you in unconditional love. If you love yourself, you will not go astray. The resonance transmission for this channel is that you want to find your vibration. Keep connecting to find your vibration. Ask to hear the sound of your vibration, tone it, and use the piano tuner to find the hertz, and then search for it on YouTube. To explore this transmission more deeply, you'll find a transmission worksheet linked in the show notes. If this channel resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe to help more people discover this work. And if you have a question for Stoneman, there's also a link below where you can send it in. I'd love to hear from you.